you can see here is Milena Hipshmanova. And Milena Hipshmanova, she was a Czech woman who studied in the 50s, in the 1950s, the Bengali, Urdu, and Hindi language, and she was interested in the in Indian languages. She was a linguist, and as you know, as I told you in the past, like the sessions, Roma, uh, like the Czechoslovakia was in the communist regime, and therefore, the people they couldn't travel, and this also influenced Mlena Hipshmanova. She couldn't go to India, and uh, she participated like the seasonal works in which she met the Roma from the Slovakia who were speaking Roma language, and she could understand that those people were speaking similar language like Hindi, and and and, and, and this was like how started her research in the Roma communities, and Milena Hishmanova started visiting Roman communities. And I'm mentioning her because she wasn't only a non-Roma researcher, but she was also like the person who had the great understanding of Roma community, and she was learning Romanes and like Roma language. She was attending Roma settlements. She was very well known in Czechia and also in Slovakia, and she was like, and she published the Roma Czech and the Czech Roma the dictionary. I'm also saying it because she was very important person when the when the Roma were facing assimilation in Czechoslovakia. Roma language it couldn't be published. It could be published only during the period from 1968 until the 1971, when in Czechoslovakia was founded the Union of the Gypsies and Roma, which could publish like the magazines. And Milena Hipshmanova was member of the Commission for Language. She created the team which started the process of the codification of the Eastern Slovak Romani language, and she was always helpful. And unfortunately, during the communist regime, she was also considered like enemy of the regime because she didn't agree with the assimilatory politics implemented against the Roma, and so she couldn't. Uh, the when the communist regime fell down in 1989 after the Velvet Revolution, Milena Hipshmanova in 1991 she could open the Department of Romanist Studies at the Charles University, which is still running. I I am the one of the alumna who studied this, and she also really she was like supporting the Roma culture. She was promoting in the radio, and she was publishing Roma heritage and literature, uh, enabling people more to understand Roma culture. So therefore, if I speak about the Czech and Slovak Roma, we have to mention Milena Hipshmanova, because Milena Hipshmanova was like the friend uh, and and the person who really knew well Roma people. I will I during today I want to sum up to similarly uh, uh, what happened for Roma after the communism. I don't know whether I mentioned last time that I have to see that even though that the Roma children were in the special schools, the segregated, and the Roma women were sterilized during the communist time, and also it was happening that in each the broader family, uh, 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 there was a child which was taken into the orphanage, and this was happening. So if I will omit like this, like the things, in the 1980s, Roma people reached like the highest, like the point of the material life. They could have like the better the living in comparison with the times when Roma were coming from the Slovakia after Second World War. They had job and their material life, it was very well like the secure, and their lives were also safe because of the latent communism, of the latent racism during the communism. Because during the communism, it wasn't like popular like to make discrimination or to be open racist. But this everything was shocking for Roma after the 1989 when the regime changed, when in Czechoslovakia started democracy and open market, and it came the capitalism, economic change from the centrally market onto to uh, open market. In, in, in this period, the Roma were losing their hope because still, like during the 1819, during the 1989, you can see here upstairs Amos Chuka and Jan Rosenko, who were like two representatives who spoke at the Velvet Revolution, like uh, about this. That Roma people also want the democracy, and it is like their home. I can say that I can share with you, for example, from my family, uh, like the generations of my the great of my great parents who were young at these times, they were welcoming it, and they were looking forward having the democracy and open borders. But like their parents, like my great grandparents, were saying like to them, you shouldn't participate this demonstration. You will see what is democracy. Democracy is not good for Roma people because we experienced the democracy like before the Second World War. And of course, he
Mom,
uh,
didn't?
I know, yes, yeah, and he was into the summed up uh, the, like the point right. Roma people after the Velvet Revolution, they weren't the persecuted like before the Second World War, but still the racism appeared, was more uh, like the became now explicit. It appeared like the groups of the skinheads who were chasing and killing Roma. I I'm I'm thinking that more than like 30 Roma have died as victims of racial murders. The mostly the murderers even they weren't the properly
Takže dělám.
like the condemned.
Chcete to sednout, až sednout.
Hello, I'm sorry. You have some question? Okay. And here also, and uh, it brought also the insecurity that do you know that the Roma during the communist time were segregated in the education system, and now when we had the democracy, these people they weren't able to uh, they weren't able they weren't able to succeed on the job the market where because uh, uh, because uh, during the communism everyone had to work. If you didn't work, you could uh, you could you could be you could get into the prison. And now during the communism, Roma were losing their jobs, and also yes, it was like this. But on the other hand, democracy brought also to the Roma also the positive things. As I said, it was founded uh, the Department of Romanist Studies in the Charles University. It were found it were founded other NGOs which are promoting and supporting Roma language, the cultures. The more Roma started to study, and what is like the peak of the history of the Czech and Slovak Roma was that in the very beginning of the democracy after or during the Velvet Revolution, 11 Roma people that became members of the parliament. It was in the cooperation with the Forum, uh, which was led by Václav Havel, who became president, and also Roma founded the political party. You can see here, Romská občanská iniciativa, which means Roma Civic Initiative. Uh, this was really huge, like the success which in the Europe, the Forum, thought it wasn't known before, and but it everything was lasting just the very short time, because in 1993 Czechoslovakia was split into the countries, into the Czech Republic and into the Slovak Republic. It means the, so that this political party lost the voters, like the majority voters were in Slovakia. And also, it's very important to say that during the uh, during the division of the Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, many Roma people who came from the second after Second World War to the Czech lands, uh, they lost their Czech the citizenship. They appeared uh, from or uh, like this. They became from the one day up to another day, like the foreigners in their homelands where they had lived for 40 years, and they brought up children, and they were already considering themselves like the Czech people, or like the Czech Roma. They lost the citizenship, and it resulted in these like the poverty and the problems from which the many Roma didn't still up to now uh, uh, the solve like their situation, because it's started being founded like the ghettos. The Roma are losing the position in the cities. Uh, Many of them were uh, moved, or also like driven out from the cities. For example, like I think it's 15 years ago in Moravia, in Vasetín, where one mayor evicted Roma people at night from the city to the uh, uh, like the suburb of, of the town, and such similar cases are happening also in Romania. What the when Roma are evicted from the villages or from the towns. But I will come back to the Czech Republic. I have here also one the photo as I was like saying that uh, like more than 30 Roma uh, they were killed. For example, this is the photo of Tibor Danihel. He was coming from my hometown, and Tibor Danihel he was uh, he died in the water when this because he was with his the friends in September the 1993 in the island in our town in Pisek in the southern Bohemia, and the skinheads the river, and he got and he got the drowned in the water. He was just missing one day, like to reach 18 age, 18 year of his age, and like this were dying, like this we are Roma in the Czech Republic, and I remember even myself how the skinheads were marching this streets, and the state was very lax, like to these institutions, like didn't do anything. Even the policemen, they didn't like the defenders. And I remember that during afternoon, uh, when I was at my the grandma place, because she had uh, sh- her apartment was like the place on the ground floor, and we had to lie down on the floor, so because we were afraid, so that uh, the sucking had they couldn't see us, and they could like to the jumping like jumping through the window into the apartment. So I remember still when I was like the 4 or 5 years in the in the 1990s. And this I am also mentioning because these events were the reason which resulted in migration uh, of the Roma to the UK, to the Canada, and to Belgium. It started in 1997 when Roma are coming, and it was very strange because the media they weren't paying attention like to this enough, and Roma people were coming from the Czech land, and they were saying that they are hiding themselves, and uh, and they are coming like the refugee, and many people like this they weren't allowed like to come like to the UK. And also I remember this because my family we were also ready to move like to the UK. I remember my mom, she was already like and her family like they were thinking like to pack. And I remember that my father and my grandpa, they decided we shouldn't go abroad and we should stay at home, that Czechia is our homeland, and we shouldn't go anywhere. But of course, the many Roma people like they came to the to the UK and to other the Western countries. So I remember that uh, so you can see the democracy they brought for Roma, uh, like the things which are the positive and also negative. And now, because I don't want to speak too much, because I want to open also uh, uh, the discussion, the discussion, I will mention also like the three like like the three big issues which are Roma people are solving now in the Czech Republic. You remember that during the communism, I was speaking about the Lety camp. Lety camp, it was the concentration camp where Roma were concentrated, and from that place they were deported to the Auschwitz-Birkenau. Almost almost more than 90% of the original Czech and Moravian Roma died uh, during the Holocaust. And I'm mentioning this because you can see that here was like the camp, and after Second World War, uh, they destroyed like this. I don't know what it is, how to say in English, like the cabins. Yes, it's maybe cabin, and on this place where are the mass graves uh, of Roma the prisons during the Second World War. There was built the pig farm, and this pig farm, and you have to take into the consideration that during the communism, it was everything hidden and secret. And after in 1995 or six, I'm not sure now, Václav Havel, the Czech president, revealed this like the place like the site of the former the concentration camp. And it took long time of the negotiation and making the pressure for the governments of on civil government, which in the Czech Republic up to now have changed, uh, like to like to get how like to get this like the site, and now it is under uh, 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 the Czech government had to buy out uh, like the pig farm, and now this like the site is like the property uh, of, of the museum of the Roma culture in Brno, and within 2 years they are going to build here like the memorial. So this was like the latter one big issue. Another issue which the Czech society owes to Roma are compensation for sterilizations of Roma women. You know, since I was mentioning it, since the 71, Czechoslovakia was running sterilization of the Roma women until 2002. And you can see that, for example, here you can download like the such like the collection which is which is summarizing all this fight, and also you can find there some sort stories of the Roma women which were who were sterilized many times like the by force, and also and several times they even didn't know how they should be. Of course, like the some the women they were receiving like the some uh, 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 a reward in the like in the sense of some like the piece of the furniture or something, or like washing machine or something like this, which was like the, during communism really hard. But many times in this like this woman, they didn't know w- the what did it mean. Or there are also like the many the cases in which Roma women were having the pains about to give a birth, and the nurses were forcing, or the social workers, they were forcing them like to sign the piece of a paper, and the next day they learned that they will not have children anymore. So this is something Roma women like the many of them have died already. But I think that they are around like the 300, and they are fighting with the government, and it seems that maybe they will get the compensation for this. And the third issue is DH case. DH case, it is, it is related like to the segregation of Roma children in educational system. DH are acronyms of one Roma girl from Ostrava, in Ostrava, and not only in Ostrava, but in the several towns of the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Romania. Roma children are put into the special into the special uh, educational system. I mean, the special educational system. I'm saying special because it was the code during the communism and after, and also it's sort of being used like the 10 years ago or when, I'm not sure now, but I mean these children, Roma children were considered like mentally retarded children, and they were and they were educated uh, 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 according this uh, according this according this the this the curricula. And these Roma parents from Ostrava, they took their court like to the like uh, they took the case like to the courts, and they never uh, uh, received like the law, like the justice, and this and this fight was continuing up to the European like the Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg, and there the Czech Republic like a state lost in, in the court uh, in this like the case, and therefore Czech Republic is obliged. I think it's like 4 or 5 years ago, like to lead inclusion in the educational system. What happened is the real changes that many schools that became inclusive, but Roma children are segregated in the classrooms in front of the inclusive schools. Everything still is running, and today more than more than 4,500 Roma children are still educated according to the curricula for the children who are the mentally retarded, which is very hard because these people, after uh, uh, after the primary school, they have no opportunities like to go to high school uh, and to aspire like the for higher 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 education. Even they cannot become like uh, they they can't even become pardon, apprentices. Uh, if they can go to some apprentice school, they can do like the such fields uh, like the assistant of the chef, assistant of the constructor. So it's really hard, and this is like this. The system is making of Roma children like the professional user of the of 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 the social of the social benefits, because these people will not be able like to be employed and to job and to have job, and this everything is leading like to the poverty and to living into the ghetto, because Roma people have also very huge the problem, and they face discrimination in terms of accommodation. If you are Roma family and you want to rent a house or some apartment, you, you have no chance in in, in the most uh, like, like the situations, because if they hear your Roma accent or you have like a typical Roma surname, uh, the people are openly like just saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not renting to Roma, like to Roma family." It was very good fun. That like I think it was half year ago when one when one one Czech guy he published advert in the news that he is offering rent of his apartment, but he's not offering it like to the gypsies and also to the alumni of the Harvard. You know, because like the some many like the some Roma people are making like the joke or fun. They are alumni of Harvard and they have it on their profile of the Facebook. And Petra Gelbart is a Roma woman, and she finished like her PhD in the Harvard, and she called, "Hello, I would like to rent your apartment. But you are mentioning here that if I am alumna of Harvard and if I am Roma, I have no chance." And he said, "Oh, that's really bad. I am very sorry, but if you are Roma, I cannot rent you." You know, this is like easier form, but the Roma, if you are living like this and you have children, it's very hard situation because uh, if Roma people, if they can have uh, like apartments, the mostly it is in excluded localities, like socially, or it is in very expensive, like for example, like two times higher the price uh, than the normal people uh, are paying for the apartment. And this is also the problem when the children have not good accommodation, when they are living in the some hostel and they are sharing like the social like the social the sanities, and you have no the space if you are living in one room which are like the 14 or 16 the square meters. It's very hard like to raise children and to make of them the students. Of course, that in the Czech Republic, you can very nicely see that the Roma who have opportunity, they are well integrated, and according to the estimation in the Czech Republic, live 200 the from 250,000 up to 300,000 Roma, and it is like half and half. Half of Roma are integrated into the society, and the another half are living in the social uh, excluded localities or like the poorer. Here I also I don't want to be always like the negative and also to say how Roma are the suffering or like this. But I have to also appreciate, and this is the what need, because like the problem is not of Roma the problem that Roma are poor and Roma children are segregated at the school, but the biggest problem is identity, because you could see during the communism and the Second World War, you had the some outcomes in everyday life just because you are Roma or you are different. And here is also another problem, not only the poverty, but also the problem of Roma identity. There are many Roma people who are hiding their origin because they want to avoid like these obstacles I have mentioned already, and therefore here are also several NGOs and organizations, and here I am there bringing you like this like most important is Museum of Roma Culture in Brno, Czech Republic is one of the countries one of the very few countries who have Roma museum, considered like state institutions. It is here. You can see this green the building in Brno. If you are happen like to come to the Czech Republic, and if you are happen to go to Brno, make sure to go there, because you can see the very nice exhibitions, like this since time of Indian Exodus up to now. Like the second NGO I'm going to mention is Roma CZ. Roma CZ is like a medial the portal, which is in English and also in Czech language. And it is important because sometimes or very often Roma are represented in the media very stereotypically, and Roma CZ is important because Roma CZ is like the breaking this like the hoaxes and fake news and bringing really really the true information. And also now newly it is providing the scholarship for Roma students. Another is Slovo 21, which means Slovo means like the war, and like they are the biggest like the project is like the World Festival Camoro. It is every year in May. Unfortunately, this year it couldn't happen because of the pandemic. But this festival is very unique, and you can see there every year Roma cultures from all over the world and also the Europe. And another is Mirat. Mirat is organization which is having very special project. They are collecting Roma children from the settlements and the ghettos that are participating Roma children from Czech and Slovakia, and they are cooperating with the Czech Philharmonic Orchestra, and they have opportunity like to perform and to see the world. Officially it is like this in the Czech Republic are inclusive schools, and these inclusive schools are having the like the segregated like the classrooms, and Roma children are mostly in these classrooms. For example, in Slovakia it is also very similar, but in Slovakia it is running openly because for example, in some villages in eastern Slovakia, even it is like that they made the school in Roma settlement so that Roma children do not have to meet the Slovak children, or also they make it also in Romania. For example, there was like the case that Roma children had classes when the Romanian children Romanian children were when the Romanian children were finishing classes. Because it's also problematic because many people also don't want so that Roma children are schoolmate of their children. And really you have to be really lucky. I can also share my story because my story isn't of of the Roma people but also handicapped people, because I have hearing aid and I speak badly. I stutter. And my mom, she had a lot to do, like to get me to like to normal elementary school, because it was already half of August, and I still wasn't accepted like to the school. And my mom, she was looking like a parent who doesn't want allowed to go her child like to school. So she was almost risking like the prison, and she was really until half of the August the searching school for me. And it was very problematic because they were also because they were want because they were like to take me to the school for like the deaf children, and it was in another town. And not bene that we had this experience of the skinhead marchings, So they were very afraid, like, to allow me to go to another town, like to the city, because I still remember that until year like 2000, even my e- 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 even my teacher, she was writing to my like the message, for my parents, are not to send me the next day to the school, because she knew there was some march of the skinheads. And school was also, my teacher was also like the trying, like to protect us. I was thinking, I have like the throwback. Uh, it, it came to my mind when I started studying at university in Prague, and I was accommodated in a dormitory. Because I do not look like a typical Czech, uh, like the guy. And I remember that I had a shared room with one guy, and I entered the room, and he stood up, and he welcomed me in English. Hello, my name is. And I smiled at him, and I was saying, no, no, you don't have to speak in English. I, I, I understand Czech. I'm also from the Czech Republic. And he suddenly he stopped speaking, and he was going through some shock. and even the hand he wanted to shake with me. He took that, and he was like, "Oh my God, okay, okay, good, good, good." And he was sitting, and it was very awkward situation. I really didn't know how to behave, or what to say. I remember that those like 2 minutes were so long that I was saying myself, "Okay, what will be now? I don't know." Of course, that he was there only only a few days, and after he left, I even don't know what was his name, because we really didn't speak anymore. No,